All right, so now let's take a look at this type. So in this one, this one I'm telling you already, there's infinitely many solutions. The correct answer is going to be D, but I want you to see how that would work out. So just to remind you what that looks like, infinitely many solutions is when it's the same line, okay? Okay, so for this problem, there's a couple ways that we could approach this. Let's see. Let me show you that it's the same line. I think that's a good way to do this. So the first thing I want to do is get these in the same order. So see how this one is 3x plus y equals a number. Let's make this also look like x plus y equals a number. So the second equation we need to do a little work with. So negative 1/3 y plus 2 equals x. I want to bring the x over to the other side, so I'm going to subtract it. That gives me negative x minus 1/3 y plus 2 equals 0. Remember, I want the number to be on the right side of the equation, so I'm going to do minus 2 to both sides. That gives me negative x minus 1/3 y equals negative 2. Okay, so now I want to show you that this equation is the same as this equation. So let's look for a relationship between the numbers here. So this is negative 1, this is 3, there's negative 1/3 in front of the y, a 1 in front of this y. Negative 2 is the just plain number, and a 6 that's here. So what can I multiply these numbers by to make them equal to these? So let's look at the just plain number. A lot of times people have an easier time with that. Negative 2 times what gives you 6? Or you could say, what's 6 divided by negative 2? Well, negative 3. So let's see, what would happen if I multiply this whole equation by negative 3? So negative 3 times negative 1x is 3x. Negative 3 times 1/3, if you need a calculator, please feel free to use it, but this is going to come out to be positive 1y. And negative 3 times negative 2 is 6. So see, we got 3x plus y equals 6, which is the exact same thing as this equation. They are the same line, and that's why they had infinitely many solutions. Okay? Let's take a look at this one. This one's going to have no solution. So I'm already telling you that. The answer is going to be A. But how do you know that? Well, let's look at this one. So again, I can see, let's see. So first, they're not written in the same order. So let's get them written into the same order first. All right, so the first one has x, an x term plus a y term equals a number. Let's get these to be in that same order. So I'm just going to switch them. Negative 8x minus 2y equals 25. All right, so 4x plus y equals 11. So let's look at this. If I were to divide this by 2, negative 8, or by negative 2, I would get 4, right? So let's try that. Let's divide every part by negative 2. So negative 8 divided by negative 2 is 4x. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive y. And negative 25 divided by 2 is what? Negative 12.5. So they look very, very similar, but not exactly the same. See, the x and the y are the same, but the just plain number, this is 12.5 and this one's 11. Those two are not the same. And that's what's going to happen when there is no solution. Okay? All right, cool. So there you go. Now you're going to try these two problems. And just by the way, if this ever comes up, if you do this and you get something that's completely different, like they're not the same equation at all, then it's going to have one solution, just like the problems we did before. Okay? All right, give these two a try.